Hello and welcome to Top Story. Back to square one, it seems, in Lebanon after the government agreed to withdraw the two key measures that prompted a violent response from militants loyal to the opposition Hezbollah. The powerful Shiite militant force took control of West Beirut after the government's decision last week to order the investigation of an independent telecommunications network run by Hezbollah and the dismissal of the chief of security at Beirut airport on the grounds that he was working for Hezbollah. The humiliating climbdown follows the efforts of Arab League negotiators to end a crisis that had brought Lebanon to the brink of civil war. In return, Hezbollah removed roadblocks to Beirut's international airport and promised measures to return the country to normality. As part of a six-point plan, the rival parties have agreed to travel to the Gulf state of Qatar today to try to elect a president and form a national unity government. Lebanon has been without a president since November. Well, joining me now to make sense of the latest events in Lebanon is Georges Malbruno, who's a senior correspondent at the French paper Le Figaro and an expert on the Middle East. Thanks very much for being on the programme. Just how humiliating a climb down is this by the government?
As you said, the decisions which drove us to the crisis have been cancelled by the government. Secondly, Hezbollah is keeping the sitting in the center of Beirut. If we remember that there were demonstrations, and this sitting will last until a global agreement will be reached. So it means that there will be a pressure on the government to continue in order to get what they want as Hezbollah. The crisis is not over. And thirdly, the talks are going to take place in Qatar, in Doha. Qatar is a mediator, but quite close to the Hezbollah and Syria. It's not like before Egypt and Saudi Arabia, which doesn't mean that Egypt and Saudi Arabia will not be powerful, but they will not be on the front line. So it's clearly for the government which created this crisis without the tools to win it, without the tools to win the war they open, it's a clear defeat, humiliation.
What do you think in all this is the game plan of Hezbollah?
Hezbollah, since 2006, wants to a new sharing power in Lebanon. They started with the war. They started by national dialogue, trying to talk to the other political groups. It didn't achieve their goal. So now they reach another step, which for them also was dangerous because they crossed a red line by returning their weapons against their own people, which was a contradiction with their promise they did before. So they want president close to them. They want a new government close to them, and they want to keep their weapons. In fact, they want that their weapons, that their apparatus system become the Lebanese army. When you talk to Hezbollah now, they said we don't have any problem with the disarmament. Our weapons will become, our military apparatus will become the Lebanese army sooner or later. So they want to reach this goal. They want to be one of the main leaders in the Lebanese political system.
One of the main leaders or the main leader? Is Hezbollah on the verge of becoming the controller of Lebanon?
On the Muslim level, I think they want to be the key leader. They know that the Sunni community in Lebanon is very weak, particularly since the assassination of Rafik Hariri. Of course, in Lebanon now, the Sunni are upset with Hezbollah, most of them, because there was this kind of civil war. The division, the fitna, is very, very deep. We'll see consequences, especially on the Sunni level in the north, in Tripoli, for example, where the Sunni have been humiliated. The Saad Hariri, his guys and his forces were unable to protect them. So most probably we'll see a radicalization of the Sunni, which is not in the interest of Hezbollah. But Hezbollah, I think, is betting on the Arab world. We have seen Muslim brothers in Jordan, in Egypt, Hamas, supporting them. So I think Hezbollah, and behind them Iran, wants to appear as the leader of the national Islamist movement, beyond the Shia movement. And we'll see also what will be the reaction of the Al-Qaeda, which for the last 2 years have been trying to invest in Lebanon, to penetrate Lebanon. Al-Qaeda and the Iran and the Shia movement are completely opposed. in war. But in the short term, they can enjoy the chaos which has been created by this last event.
In a way, hasn't the fighting of recent weeks also shown the military limitations of Hezbollah? Because they certainly suffered when they tried to take control of the Druze areas in the mountains.
Yes, but I don't think the Hezbollah has a huge military ability. The problem for Hezbollah, I think, their sophisticated weapons are not devoted to fight Lebanese. They are devoted to fight Israel in case of Israeli attack on Iran and Iranian retaliation. So for them, for sure, they didn't show their full strength. But for them also, yeah, as I told you, it was really, I think, a mistake in terms of in the Lebanese internal scene to fight against their own people.
Is there a real danger of Hezbollah becoming a state within a state? And if that were to happen, could Lebanon survive?
There's no state in Lebanon. So Hezbollah, of course, has a security apparatus, the strongest one, has a social apparatus, has a rebuilding apparatus. Unfortunately, there's no state in Lebanon. So they fill the vacuum very easily. And they will continue. They will continue to fill the vacuum. They show the limit now. They show the limit. With the sitting still in Beirut, the center of Beirut, they maintain a level of pressure on the government. So now the calm will prevail for some days or weeks. But if they don't achieve their goals, we'll come back to the previous stage.
Talks today in Qatar. What chance a national unity government and what chance a new president for Lebanon?
The problem is Lebanese leaders are not the owners of the key of the solution. So I don't think we have to expect a great improvement before in the short run, because the real key leaders, Iran and Syria, are waiting for a next American president, hoping that the new one will start negotiations with them, and one of the file on the table will be the situation in Lebanon. So unfortunately, I don't think that there will be any real progress in the short term concerning the Lebanese crisis.
And that, I'm afraid, is where we're going to have to end it. That's all we have time for today. Thanks to our guest, Georges Malbruno. Join us again next week for another edition of Top Story. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Story, a program dedicated to international news, was brought to you by Le Monde.
Feeling is without a doubt here and everywhere. Look around you. It's how we people do.
Ibis, hotels the way you like them.
Every day in France, thousands of illegal immigrants run the risk of deportation just by going to work. And yet, they pay taxes and make social security payments despite having no rights to welfare. For over a month now, some of them have decided to come out of the shadows and go on strike in the hope of finally obtaining official legal status. France 24 met a few of these clandestine workers whose sole wish is to continue working in France. Don't miss Reporters. Today, 10:15 a.m. Paris time on France 24. France 24 gives you the best seats in the house to watch the 61st Cannes Film Festival up to May 25th. Every day, join Elizabeth Chungi as she meets movie stars and directors from across the globe. Tune in to our daily reports live from the red carpet in Cannes. Go backstage and soak up the glamour and the glitter of this famous event by visiting our website. The Cannes Film Festival, every day, right up to May 25th on France 24.